Hey guys, today it's Aiden from the Beefington Bunch talking about all the assault weapons and equipment from the assault class, obviously. We're first going to start out with the MP18, as you can see I'm using here. There are three versions of the MP18. The two that you can see I'm using currently are the MP18 Artillery and the MP18 Experimental. The only difference between those two guns is the Experimental has a 3-round burst while the Artillery is fully automatic. I like the red dot sight that both of them offer. It's, I would say, it's very useful in aiming down sights and especially engaging at medium range because this gun is hard to engage in medium range. Now here, this isn't a cool kill, this is just a cool glitch I thought you guys would see. Not necessarily cool, but you get the gist. Next, I'm going to be moving on to the MP18 Trench. As you can see here, it's a little harder to aim down your sights. The red dot sight gave you a little bit of zoom. Now with the MP18 Trench, you have only the iron sights and fully automatic. The thing that I like about the MP18 is that it has a 32 round mag, which is pretty high for most of the mags in this game. Another thing you notice about the MP18 is that it has a bayonet at the end of it, which I like to use. Now here I encounter a land cruiser, and I use some of these anti-tank grenades, which are pretty helpful in the assault class. Another thing to note about the MP18 is it's unfortunately pretty inaccurate, which is why I like to use the Experimental, because it has a 3-round burst, which makes the recoil a little bit easier to control. With the MP18, you will notice that it's most likely best at close range, but it can be taken to some medium ranges. Now with the assault class, I really wouldn't recommend engaging in over close to medium range unless you're superb with any of the guns, because as you will notice is a common theme throughout all of the guns from the beta, they can't reach out and hit very far. In the next clip, we'll be talking about shotguns, and this is just me trying to avoid getting killed because I'm wandering off too much in a rush game. Now here we have the shotgun. Now as I believe, let me check. This is the Model 10A Heavy. The Model 10A Heavy has the considered a red dot sight, and it has a little bit better aim down sight control, but it's still pretty, I wouldn't say inaccurate, but the problem with the shotguns in these games that I've noticed is that the shotgun does not have very good range. And if you notice here, the shotgun is good for flanking, as you can see in this clip. I knock out 2 kills, and now with the shotgun in this battlefield I noticed is that you really have to aim down your sights to make sure that your spread is more controlled. Now I tested it out with the factory version of the Model 10, and the spread is still pretty insignificant on that. As I believe from rumors that there will be the Browning Model 1900 semi-automatic shotgun in this game, which is a shotgun that I've actually shot in real life before. But if it's anything like the battle creators usually make shotguns, since it's semi-automatic, the range won't be as good and it'll have a little less control. And based on the Model 10, I'm not really sure how much I'm going to be using shotguns in this game. This is one last kill, and what you'll notice is that on the shotguns they also don't have a bayonet, which could also be very detrimental. People not only use the bayonet charge for kills, but they also use it to get out of sticky situations because you will run faster, bayonet charging than actually than just sprinting of itself. Now here we're going to move on to another one called the the M1918 Trench, Light Infantry, and Factory. Now when discussing the three, I would like to point out that the Factory is just a, excuse my language, shittier version of the Light Infantry. The Light Infantry has better control, and the Trench has better hip fire. Now one thing I noticed with this gun is it has a very fast fire rate. And this could be good or bad depending on how close quarters you play. If you run into somebody really quickly and you need to get the rounds out, this gun is actually going to be pretty good for that. At longer distances like that kill I just got, it's going to be a lot harder to control. But this gun, especially in games like Rush, does have a lot of benefits to it. As you notice, it also has a bayonet, which I'm pretty sure everybody loves the bayonet feature in this game, to be honest. And it's a well thought out gun. I believe it's an American gun, but I'm not quite sure. It says Automaticos. That makes me believe that it's not. Sorry guys, I didn't do too much research on this. I apologize, but I do like this gun. I give it lots of props, and it's a very creative, and honestly, I love the design because it looks very, very World War I. As you notice there, I got the kills off because I had the faster rate of fire. And I also did have the jump on them, which does help in that scenario. The reload speed on it is pretty good. I forgot to mention the reload speed on the others. I would say this one has the best reload speed, with a close second as the MP18, and the shotgun really depends how many rounds you fire. Now there's a nice horse kill there, and again, it's pretty accurate at close range. I mean, every gun is, and just the rate of fire is phenomenal. I think it does a little bit more damage than the MP18, but it only holds 25 rounds compared to the MP18's 32. The Model 10 only holds 6 rounds, but that's a shotgun, so that's kind of a different story. Now, if you notice pistol-wise, I don't think you'll see it here, but you'll see later in the video, I used the P08 and the Colt 1911. In a little bit, I will be discussing what my favorite assault class gun is. And after that, we will be going over the equipment from the assault class. Here, I believe I'm going to knock out one more kill, and then I'll be moving on to that. But guys, I want to know what your favorite gun from the assault class is, and I want to know what your favorite loadout is in general, including equipment, guns, pistols, even knives. So now, getting on, I have to announce that the MP18 Experimental is my favorite primary weapon from the Battlefield 1 beta, along with the Colt 1911 pistol. These two together go very well. With the Experimental, you have good close to medium range control, but even if you don't kill the enemy, you're able to finish them off with what I believe is a slightly overpowered pistol, the Colt 1911. It has 45 rounds. It has 8 rounds of 45, which is a pretty strong caliber bullet. I believe the MP18 uses what was a World War I version of 9mm. And here's just another good gameplay footage of me using that. Guys, you'll also notice, we'll get talking about equipment here soon, that I use a variety of the equipment. Obviously all of it was unlocked because it was the last day of the beta. That is the anti-tank gun. Very good. I do like it. There's the anti-tank grenades, there's the landmines, and then there's the dynamite. They're all very good, except I have not been able to get a kill with the landmines yet. I believe that's probably more of a conquest gun if you're defending an objective. So I'm sorry I didn't get that for the video, but I think you guys will be okay. Next, talking about it here, obviously you can see that I'm using the bayonet charge a lot, and it's because I'm going into this area on the map, on the Sinai Peninsula to be exact, that a lot of snipers hang out, and snipers, as most of you guys probably already know, are pretty overpowered. But again, guys, the MP18 Experimental is just it's not a great weapon, but it's very good for its time, and it's a very good consideration for using in the actual game. And now we're going to get talking about the equipment. This is the anti-tank rifle, along with the anti-tank grenades, and there I'm just going to knock out that light tank. It does a pretty decent amount of damage, and it also does knock out the tires. And here I'm going to do it again. Guys, it generally explodes on impact if you can hit the tank. I think it takes a little longer if you don't hit the tank. And I realized I disabled the tank, but I didn't get the tank driver, so I'm going to whip out the MP18, and I'm going to try to get that kill. Which I do, but unfortunately die right after that. Now guys, a cool thing with the anti-tank rifle is that not only is it good for, destroying tanks, but it's also good for kind of maybe knocking out a sniper in a building, just like this. It's a great tool for that. Now guys, lastly, I'd like to talk about the dynamite and the landmines, which you'll see me use here. But honestly, my preference is going to be the anti-tank grenade and the anti-tank rifle. Now guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If this video gets over 200 views, 15 likes, and a couple of comments, I'll do another one on another class. As always, please like, comment, and subscribe, and share as always. And I'm so happy you guys are watching. Please tune back for another video soon.